XFL Week 3 quarterback rankings from our man Pat Ruffino, the quarterback guru, after 2 weeks of the XFL season. And fans are beginning to see some consistency for some of the teams in Week 2. With Week 3 on the horizon, our quarterback rankings once again sees movement as teams begin to figure out what works and what doesn't. And you can catch his previous articles. Honorable mention, D'Eriq King. Rushing, he has only thrown 2 passes in the season, but King's ability to create a dynamic rush game for the defenders, especially in that whole muddy Vegas thing, helped catapult the defenders to a 2-0 record. So he gets an honorable mention. Also, another guy, Cole McDonald. Again, McDonald did manage to throw his first pass attempts in the XFL. It was his rushing ability that made him an asset in Week 2, adding 39 yards on the ground, opening up the rushing game for Houston's running backs. There you go. So let's start. Number 10, who was previously 3, Luis Perez. 1 of 5, 0 passing yards, 1 rushing attempt for 9 yards. Did not look way. It didn't get him, of course, there's the weather conditions. They had Brett Hundley on the bench. Going into Week 3, it's clear if the Spring King will see the field. It's unclear, I should say, if the Spring King will see the field or is Brett Hundley taking over, but Luis Perez drops from 3 to number 10. DeAndre Francois, unranked before, he comes in at 9, 6 for 13, 8 passing yards, 1 touchdown, interception, 4 rushing attempts for 14 yards. Made his debut, first appearance in outdoor football since the Spring League in 2021, but not great results. We read the stats there, but Orlando seems to be kind of a mess, but I think Francois going forward probably is the guy. We'll see what happens in Week 3. Hundley, Vegas Vipers, previously unranked, 11 for 18, 98 yards, no picks, no TDs, 5 rushing attempts for 24 yards. Did have a fumble, so he was kind of thrown into the fire on his debut against the DC Defenders, who have a good defense, but teammates who got drop balls, unfamiliarity with the playbook. It was the rain. We couldn't give him a pass, but he did look pretty decent for what he got. I think Hundley could be the guy going forward. He's got him at number 8. Number 7, Jordan Ta'amu. Previously ranked 9, he moved up, 11 for 23, 93 yards, 12 rushing attempts for 68 yards, but he had 2 fumbles. Again, let's talk about the throwing of the game. No one really threw the ball well, and it was, the conditions. We'll see how things transpire in Week 3 against the St. Louis Battlehawks, but there's a potential that we could see D'Eriq King be the guy, or are we going to go? I think Ta'amu gets. He's a spring football veteran. I think he gets one more week with this kind of D'Eriq King coming in and clean up or to give the team a spark. I give him the first half, and if he's not doing well, we'll see what happens. But Jordan Ta'amu at number 7. Number 6, Paxton Lynch, 9 of 19, 79 passing yards. Did throw a touchdown in the beginning, 1 rushing attempt for 9 yards. But again, this is the Guardians, inconsistent workload, play calling, all kinds of stuff going on with Orlando. Is it him? Is it, the play calling? Orlando is kind of a mess, but he was ranked 7. I believe he probably will start to drop down too. Drew Plitt, a guy that we were kind of high on, the team was high on, 15 of 30, 120 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, 2 rushing attempts for 14 yards and a fumble. Is he the guy? You have Kyle Sloter on the bench. While Plitt did improve in Week 2, he ultimately could not cash in on some easy throws and at times looked jittery in the pocket due to Houston's dynamic pass rush. With growing frustration from Renegades fans mounting, it may not be long before we see Kyle Sloter under center if Plitt continues to struggle moving forward. Sloter was an MVP candidate in the USFL. I think they were high on Plitt. I think give him some chance behind, but I would, if I was them, I'd put Kyle Sloter in under center for Week 3. You don't want this to get away from you too soon. Number 4, Ben DiNucci, ranked number 4, 19 of 29, 196 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks, 8 rushing attempts for 38 yards, but he got another fumble. Did play pretty well, but that late fumble was again his Achilles heel. With the emergence of Jack Cohn, DiNucci remains 4 in this week's rankings, despite leading his team to what could have been a go-ahead score late in the fourth quarter against the Battlehawks. DiNucci and Seattle seem to be at times facing some miscommunication who knows what's going on there. He's got a nice stat line. I think he's a guy. They just haven't put it quite together yet in Seattle. You look at some of the Seattle wide receivers, they're putting up pretty decent, nice numbers. Jack Cohn, number 3, totally agree. He was ranked 5th. Now he's at number 3. 16 of 24, 169 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks, 3 rushing attempts for 23 yards. Played a turnover-free game in his second start as professional, 30 to 12. He showed way more confidence despite being playing behind 2 backup offensive tackles, managed to show poise. He could be a guy. He looked like a guy. Again, he is playing. He was playing Orlando, but still, Cohn looked great and looked to be a potential star in the XFL. He's at number 3. Brandon Silvers, veteran guy, 14 of 28, 173 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks, -7 yards rushing. Had some difficulty in the second and third quarter getting comfortable after a dynamic first half performance. While Cohn statistically performed better, Silver still managed to provide competitive and solid quarterback play despite less opportunities due to special team blunders, leading to a quick 14 points by the Renegades. Ultimately, Silvers made the throws that counted and managed to play turnover free, and that's kind of what we want. With the struggles of Luis Perez evident, it appears Silvers may be usurping the title of Spring King as the all-football veteran continues to progress in A.J. Smith's offense. They look like a good offense, and they got a great combo with him and Cole McDonald. Number 1, the guy, A.J. McCarron. Everybody's talking about him. 22 of 36, 184 passing yards, 1 touchdown, no picks, 41 yards on the ground, and a rushing TD. Brought the team back. He's done it again. He's got wide receivers. He looks good. He looks to be the face of the franchise. And with the face of the franchise, not only for the Battlehawks, but also for the league. Great story. We'll see if he can continue, but he is number 1 last week, was number 1 this week. And there you have all of the Pat Ruffino's rankings for this week.